Get off. Hey, everybody. Don't mind me. I just work here. All right. Getting set up. How are you doing today? Yes, pre-show cat wrangling. That's correct. All right, don't need that. I do need this is trash. All right, you stay over here. Okay. All right, so I got rid of two of my cats. Well, they're outside. They're good. They're good. And Ripley's in here, but I have the water bottle near me. So, yes, hello and welcome to the fabulous Making Comics and Art episode 294. It's Friday. Trying to get my cats to pay attention to the words I'm saying. I'll be a moment. That's correct. And I got Claire. All good, all good. I got EJB. Pre-show cat wrangling. That is correct. And we got Creators Outlet. Hail. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Okay, so I got the water bottle near me since it's only one cat, but is it the right ink? Yeah. Okay. You know, when I've been busting my ass all day, posting stuff and getting stuff, you know, like doing a lot of computer stuff, and my cats, you know, pretty much slept all day. So of course, when I go to stream, they all want to play and get in my face. Mahula. Welcome, Jason. What up? What up? So yeah, such is my fate. Since I can't, you know, I can't lock Ripley up at night. I don't know. The unfortunate thing is, like, it's the one door I have in my apartment, and if I close that door, which a lot of times I do, especially during the winter, it gets cold in my bathroom. And it's, you know, when I moved in here, there was a sort of like a timer that you turn, and on the ceiling, instead of a light, it was actually a heat lamp, and you turn the timer for, you know, whatever, like a couple of minutes, and it heated up the bathroom really good. So when you go in there to use the bathroom, it's not freezing. But unfortunately, you know, my landlord was stupid and switched that out with a, I don't know, what you call it, one of those newfangled light bulbs. So took out the heat lamp, and it's just a light bulb now. So yeah, I don't want to lock her up in the bathroom. That will get increasingly colder now that the sun has gone down. Oh, heads up, everybody. It's Daylight Savings Time Sunday. So what are we? Fall the clock back, I believe. I saw that there's actually going to be in a couple of states, a number of states, Hey, Shadowhawk Talks. Welcome. Yeah, the possible some states going all year round, which means they're opting out of daylight savings time. You know, it's not really, it's useful for farmers, but other than that, I don't think it's, you know, some people like it, some people don't, you know. You know, I kind of like it. Sometimes it's the interruption. I guess it really doesn't matter. So, yeah, before I get into serious inking here, let me show you a couple of things. I already got it set up, so I shouldn't have a problem this time. Not a fan of daylight saving times, Claire says. Well, I hope daylight saving time is not offended by your comment. All right, so we got this. Oh, of course it's got to load. Because I can't have multiple anything going on. Multiple tabs. But it will be here in a second. Or not. It might take a moment. As you already know, I set up a sign-up page for my creation retro, and you can go there right now. The link is down in the video description box. Sign up and order a physical copy. Then you also get a trading card done by me at some point. But yeah, there's some artwork from the comic. This is exciting double page spread. And then a little bit, but basically simple, straightforward. Sign up. You know, drop your email in here, click sign up, then go to your email and click confirm sign up, and you'd be good. So I think I got I think I got yeah, there we go. Sign up now. I got like 7 people who signed up, at least last time I looked, which was mid-afternoon, something like that. So for first day, you know, I think that's good. You know, by the time next year rolls around and I fulfill to the Kickstarter pledgers, I'll see where we're at, and you know, I've seen people like 200 signups, 400 signups. I know the more you can get, the better. So it'll definitely be helpful to the campaign doing well on Indiegogo, and it'll be my first Indiegogo. You know, just for the sign up page, it was a lot kind of different than Kickstarter. I found Kickstarter a lot easier to set up. You know, because I did the whole Kickstarter page in a couple of days. It was frantic couple of days, but you know, as you can see with the sign up page, it was pretty simple. So I got that going on. I do have something else going on, which I'll share right now. I'm just a sharing frenzy. Here we go. We go there. So here we go. So if you've seen me posting online, I posted two pieces of artwork. This one and the alien piece. So this one is pencil ink by myself and colored by my partner in crime, Allison McGlon. And this I'll be making into a high quality print. I found a cool place that a friend recommended. And it's $20 plus $5 shipping and handling. I'm going to have to order a bunch of supplies, you know, tubes and more tape and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like, you could essentially, so in my video description box, you can throw me tips at what is it? PayPal.me/Peter Palmiotti. Well, if you go there and just type in $25 and click pay, and then make a note before you hit pay. I forget how it goes. To include your address and what print you would like. So you can actually do it at any time. Since I already have a PayPal.me set up. And me personally, I don't have a problem with PayPal at the moment. So, you know, I mean, my business revolves around it, so I can't afford to get rid of my PayPal. I've been using it for years now, and I'm an old fogey who is set in his ways. So if I'm going to change it out, I really have to know where I'm going and have to download all the information I have from my PayPal, make sure I don't lose any contacts or business. But yeah, it's like I got a lot of likes on my stuff and a few comments. It's really heartening to see that people like my stuff. I actually I forgot I'm sharing. Okay, and this is the alien piece. So this is actually my friend who bought this piece years ago sent me a high res of it. So it looks a little gray, but I'll make sure that's darkened so it looks black on the finished piece. But yeah, this is what I consider the best piece of art I've ever done, and I know I can do better. But I just, I need to do better business wise, which is why I'm making prints now. So there you go. Go away. Okay. Yeah, I forgot I was sharing. Just so many things going on. It was another beautiful day weather-wise. Went out for a little while. I still have to go probably after I finish streaming. So those who see me on video know that I have a bike behind me. Well, that bike is, the tires are a little flatter than usual. I just have to take it to the gas station and make sure I pump some air into those tires because I'm pretty sure, pretty sure it's not my cat's playing with my bike, clawing at the tires, popping my tires. Although it could be, who knows? Those vindictive kitty cats. So I did drop Vic King, who did the art for this cover, as well as this is his character, BEOWAR. The link to his campaign is down below. If you like this cover, and I should show it off. It's a little bit of glare. I got the light so I could see better. And that's the main character. That's one of his gals. And there's just a bunch of creatures. It's a really nice piece. And you can get it in the campaign, or you can get another one of the other fabulous covers. It is no longer live. It is in demand. So, I figure that's, I'll probably do a 30-day campaign myself on Indiegogo and, keep it in demand ever after. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. The main thing is that I friggin' get the book done and fulfill to those that pledged. It's funny. I did do an update on my campaign. So if you did pledge back in the day, you're probably not here listening right now. But if you do by chance listen to this video later, I did do an update on my retro Kickstarter campaign page. So everything, well, a lot of things that are going on currently. I've mentioned, and if you haven't heard, looks like I'll be leaving here in December. So I'll be gone December, January. So I'll be back February, most likely. Yeah, well, it's going to be great to see family and hang out there for a while. Interrupts my workflow. But I will at least be able to focus some of the time out there on something. So I figure I'll write a novel, which is something I always wanted to do and attempted a couple of times, but I'll have this opportunity. And Claire says, beautiful weather here too. What is it now, actually? It's 66 degrees outside right now. So it does get colder over the nights. And it fluctuates. Like Kentucky is in that weird place where, a lot of times it's 3 days of good weather and then 3 days of bad weather. It goes back and forth. It's like we've had pretty bad storms here, wind or snow or, really torrential rain, and then 3 days later, it's completely different. So it's kind of good in a way. Like, I'm used to like the bad storms of New York. Like if the storms in New York happened anywhere else, like if that level storm happened here, we'd be stuck inside for months. The fact that like 9 feet of snow hit New York they're up and running in a day or two. You know, I mean, sometimes the same day, depending on what part of New York you're in. But yeah, I've been crazy busy trying to connect with people, trying to pull in some money, trying to get some inking work, commission work, sell some prints. You know, the truth is, like, the worst case scenario, I am really just going to be without internet come Monday. That's the sad part of the situation, but it's unavoidable. It's like just things of late have really not been working in my favor, but I will still be in touch. If worst case scenario happens, I'll still be in touch, and you know, go to the library and check messages, and you know, maybe even upload some videos. So I'll still have content here, maybe not live streams, but gotta keep the ball rolling. But yeah, you know, I posted the other day art I have for sale. It's like, you know, I've had one or two possible bites. Something I sold, you know, the money will be coming later, but you know, it's never fast enough, quick enough. But I'll get by. I've been here 100 times before. The sad thing is I've been here 100 times before. And Claire says, would you ever consider making stickers? Absolutely. It is on my agenda. I don't know if I'm going to do it this week though, but yeah, like I wanted to focus on prints because those would make faster money. And if eventually those start trickling in money with the prints, then I'll move on to stickers as well. And Claire says, best of luck. Yeah. Yeah. So how does one make money with selling prints? I mean, you know, I think it's obvious to anybody who's done art and comics and whatnot that that especially if you've been to comic conventions where you see the most people doing prints, doing fan art. And, you know, when I was still under my art rep, who, you know, like if you didn't know, I've broken away from my art rep. You know, we're still on the greatest of terms, and he said he'll still look out for me. But, you know, I was with him for 2 years and only got a couple of jobs. So it's like, I think it was worth it. And, you know, I was still, you know, putting in time to look for work myself. So, you know, I think he has an easier job, or maybe it's his audience that, you know, specifically they're looking for artists. And, you know, I was with him mostly as an inker. And it's just difficult to find inkers work. You know, you always have to be in the right place at the right time. You know, and it's crazy because, like, most of this year, I was insanely busy. And to the point where I turned down some work, and I just didn't have any free time. And I was like literally finishing one piece, going to another. And yeah, it was pretty insane. So anyway, like, with prints, like, what you pay for it and what people charge for prints, you get a good profit back, a really good profit. Like, that goes without saying. And I realize it's a long-term goal. Like, it's going to take a while for people to know that I do prints, for people to be, see what prints I'm doing, the quality of the prints, to see other people enjoying the prints I made, yada, yada, yada. So, like, I think what I could expect is that one or two people will get the prints I currently have posted. I'll get the prints out to those people. They'll talk about it online, and then another person will order one, and then they'll talk about it online, and so on and so on and so on, and until it grows the business. It's something that's going to take a while to really, like, become something of a steady income. I know my friend who gave me the place to go to get the quality prints. He's been doing prints for years, and now he's doing good. But for years, he's like, yeah, I sell a couple now and then. Yeah, exactly. Word of mouth helps. And you can land on a niche. Like, I want to do as many Marvel heroes and villains as possible, because that's what I'm into. But I also know that is, like, something else that people love. But there's so many other people doing that. I want to mix it up. And, like I've mentioned, I was really into Final Fantasy, so I'm going to do the characters from Final Fantasy VII, because I probably played that game the most. It was between that and, like, Resident Evil. Like, I think the first two Resident Evils and Final Fantasy VII, I played all three of those the longest. I know for a fact that I played Final Fantasy like 60 hours. And so that was a lot for me, back in the day. Now I'm not really playing anything, just some free online games that I find. Yes, currently my biggest game is, what's it called? Gold Miner or something like that. It's just because I like digging holes. But yeah, the whole print thing will might see a boost at some point if I land onto something that really a lot of people love. Like, I posted a sketch card a friend of mine penciled and I inked of the Ninja Turtles. And I noticed at that time that got a lot more views. So if I was to do the Ninja Turtles in something that people, like, haven't seen that is actually good, then that might be something that people, the nostalgia is strong. Yes, absolutely. And hey, Dr. Mars, zoom past the chat really quick. Don't zoom past. Stay. Oh, so I meant to mention, so I am streaming multiple places currently. And I noticed that Facebook changed how it interacts with StreamYard, and I'm actually not sure. I think they might have set up an event page. You know, previously, what StreamYard would do is post a video to my profile page, you know, my regular Facebook profile. And then when I went live, it would sort of make another post, and then Dagmar, okay, I guess. You're always welcome, Dagmar. Yeah, so I'm not sure, Dagmar, are you watching via Facebook? Is anybody watching via Facebook? Let me know in the chat. I'm really curious where it's showing up, because before I shut down my other browser, I didn't see it posted on Facebook. So I'm curious as to how that is, where that is. I'll probably have to go later and check it out, because maybe everybody here is on my YouTube, which is really where I want people anyway. Yeah, check the Facebook. It's on. Okay, so it's on. I should be streaming somewhere on Facebook. I'm not sure how it's set up. I am streaming on my regular YouTube channel, and I'm also streaming on Twitch. I have yet to stream on Twitter. Although, like, I think in my post you can watch it on Twitter. So I guess that's where you watch it. I've always been curious, like with the when I share it out on Twitter, if people watch it there, is it actually a view I'm getting on YouTube if it's being watched on Twitter? I mean, it should be. I don't know how these things work. I only work here. I don't know how things work. So, yeah, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. That's where it's all streaming. At least tonight, because a lot of times I'm exclusively on YouTube. And Claire says correct. She's watching it on Twitter. So there's a song by, I think it's a guy and a girl, called Unholy. I don't know. It's like the current song really stuck in my head. It's a good song. I mean, like, when I say something is a good song, I don't know, like, I just like the tune of it. I don't always follow the words. I don't always know the words of a song. It's just like the rhythm of it, you know. What is all this? Oh, okay. I mean, I do know some of the words because I've been listening to music on. What kind of music do you like? A wide range. Like, of course, I listen to 80s because that's what I grew up in. 70s, 80s, 90s. A lot of alternative music from that time. Also, like, I love. But like, there's some country I love. There's some dance I love. Electronic. I like electronic if it doesn't have words, because I listen to that for hours without, like, I don't know. With art, it doesn't matter, but if you're writing and music has words, then that throws you off. But folk, classical, like, a lot of music across. Even some rap, some R&B, synth and alternate rock. Yep, definitely. As long as it's good. As long as it's good. Who was I watching yesterday? Oh, Jason Unhinged was talking about quills with somebody. I forget. I watch too much. If you use a quill, the lines you put down tend to take a little longer to dry than if you're using brush. This I know to be true. Let's see. So that's why I'm bit bopping around. That is why. Nakamura says, I do like some folk, but like Finnish and Swedish old age. Yeah, some of that's good. It becomes a little, I don't know, fairy tale-ish, but you're into that stuff, so. As long as the bass doesn't sound like a heartbeat, I'm okay with most anything. If it sounds like a heartbeat, then that scares you off. A lot of horror music has heartbeats in it, right? For a long time, I was into music soundtracks, but it's either like a music soundtrack is completely popular songs or made popular by the movie, or it's, I don't know, like, used to be so into a lot of, like Batman has some dynamite soundtracks, just music wise. But yeah, nothing's clicking right now. Maybe it's the selection of stuff that I see. I'm not really diving too deep in things. I'm just turning on what looks best. Have you ever considered having royalty-free music playing in the background? I don't think my internet/computer can take it. Yeah. So with StreamYard, since I got the paid version at the moment, yeah, I could do this. It might take a moment to start. It's coming up. Trust me. See, this is This is why, because I don't think my stuff can take it. It takes so long to. Here we go. I heart it. Is it just pre-attached music to stream out? Yeah. There's like 8 different options or whatever it is. But you could also find free, royalty-free music elsewhere and add it to, the section. So let me go back. Me personally, I find it distracting. Yeah, maybe it's too loud. And it's kind of, I'm going to turn it off because it's kind of starting and stopping. And I find that annoying. So unfortunately, you'll just have to bear with my voice alone. I meant hear it. Yeah, I thought you do. But I do heart music. So let's see what you were saying before. Yeah, I had some recurring dreams when I was a kid where I was stuck in a coffin and running away. I felt and heard everything in that grave. If anything has a heartbeat, nope. Yeah, I can understand that. For the most part, I've never had real horror dreams. Although because my sleep has been more crappy of late, I haven't really been remembering a lot of dreams lately, let alone nightmares. And I always loved enjoying a good dream is like enjoying a good movie. So Dawkins or anybody in the chat, are you listening, hanging out while also working on art or comics? I know some of you must be. How's my brother doing? I dream a lot. I just wish I remember them more clearly when I was conscious. Yeah, brother's doing good. And yeah, it's kind of like you can't fully wake up because then you will forget your dream. They fade really fast, so it has to be what you're thinking of when you do wake up. Do, 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 do. All right. So around the signature, I love the 90s where they put signatures in boxes or circles. So if they're not, then there's kind of like a lot of artwork around it. And I kind of don't want to do all the artwork if it's cutting through the signatures. So just something to be careful and aware about. So I try not to touch where the signature is. But yeah, do that. Colors, we'll figure it out. Let's see. Claire says, I've had reoccurring fantasy dreams about being a vampire. Cool. I think my dreams are more mundane. There've been weirdness about it, but and Docomo says, I want to stop by and say hi. I'm researching mood board stuff for my comic and taking a Skillshare class on Blender. Awesome. And class says, dream journaling helps you remember. There you go. I always either a dragon or wandering around a vast world in mind. That's awesome. Yeah, I usually, like, a lot of times I have people I know, and I'm not sure if this has happened with any of my virtual friends, but actual people in real life, in real life, in in my town that I'm living, or wherever I'm living. It's usually people I interact with, usually a lot. Docomo says, I do keep a journal, but my dream fades pretty quick. I try to write it down, but then it doesn't make sense when I try to translate my scribbles. Yeah, that's the problem. You should probably keep a recorder nearby instead of trying to write it down. Just describe it vocally, and then that would be easy for you to recall. As well, you can even keep your eyes closed while you're doing it. Might help remember your dream better. Like I said, if you don't fully wake up, so if you're keeping your eyes closed, then that will help. I get a lot of deja vu dreams. It's creepy. Depends what you're deja vuing about, If you're having a deja vu about going bowling, that's not creepy, is it? Oh, so I finished the other day. I finished watching season 4 of Star Trek Discovery. And while that show isn't perfect, season 4, it was a little touchy-feely season, a little more than usual, I guess. I mean, it's a little bit of a touchy-feely show at times. But last episode really got me to the point where, like, I couldn't breathe for a while. Like, I was so choked up. It's a good show. Like, you can't be hardcore with this sort of, what has gone before or whatever. Just take the show on itself kind of thing. I think it's really good. Has a really good cast, really good characters. Let's see. Docomo says, there's a lot of Matrix glitch dreams. It feels like I'm repeating actions days a lot. Groundhog Day. Oh man. Yeah, that wouldn't be creepy. That would be horrible if I repeated some days I don't want to. be repeating. There's too many of those kind of days anyway. Dun, dun, dun. Wait, 1, 2, 4, 5. Oh, okay. Dogamore, you've done prints, right? What has been your success or not with doing prints? Well, I know you do a lot of art. I'm not sure what form it takes. Do you do prints? Do you do stickers? Should I be paying better attention? Probably. Well, Star Trek. Where do I watch it at? Star Trek is CBS, so it's P. Damn it. You know what I mean? The network. I'm interested in like shows with good stories. Paramount Plus or whatever it's called nowadays. I mean, it used to be CBS something. So many things change their names, and so many things are new. And but yeah, Star Trek Discovery. It's Shaniqua Green. She was once on Walking Dead, and she moved over to become part of Star Trek, and she's the headliner on the show. Really like her. Really like a lot of the cast. Some of the cast from the earlier seasons have moved on to another show that they're also doing. Brave New World. Brave New World is good too. Okay, so here we go. Doggenmore says, I've gone to a local printer. I made stickers and charms at home. I'm not really a good reference for this topic. Are you selling it online or at a con? I mean, right now I'm just selling online. I have a store, but I haven't used it in for so long. So I'm kind of just posting on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, that you can get a pre-order of the stuff right now, but I'm going to order as soon as I have the money. I'm going to order a couple of each, and this way, if somebody orders, I can mail it right out. So it's something I have to build over time, but I will eventually get my store back up and running. But the problem with the store, I think, because I use Store Envy, and they use, damn it, I had it on my tip of my tongue. Is it Square? What the hell is it? They use some money service. I don't know. It goes from Store Envy to whatever, and then to me, which means then to my PayPal. So I think there's a delay in getting money sent, or you have to get confirmation. I forget how it works. So which is fine if I'm not if I don't need money today. But I'm such an idiot with money that I always need it today. So there you go. What the hell is this? That's trying to figure out the drawing. Boom, boom, boom. Well, Doc and Mar is very nosy. Let's see. How many prints are you looking to get? How big? Matte, gloss, paper type? So initially, I'm just going to get a couple because I can't afford much right now. How big? So I'm doing one 11 by 17. That's the alien piece. The I got the big nose. The Aquaman piece, the art itself is 10 by 10. So I actually want to do it that size. So I figure 11 by 11. And then what I'll do is I'll add like my studio logo and one or two other things maybe to the Aquaman print. So I'll be printing out two 11 by 17 things. Then I'll just cut up the Aquaman one and set. So I'll have little prints to add to people's packages or whatever. Let's see how big. So that's how big. Matte, gloss. I think it's called silk. Like a silk finish. Paper type. It's thick or sturdy. I forget the exact phrases of what I'll be ordering, but that's, it's supposed to be, it's high quality, non-gloss, I guess it's matte finish. So I'll be getting one black and white and one color. And so I'll be able to tell, like, like how's the quality on the black and white? How's the quality on the color images? I've gone click. Did I click it? Yeah. Okay. I've gone with Shutterfly or Vistaprint in the past. They're not bad. Well, that's a rave review. Yeah, it's like in the past, what I've done is, back in New York, I've used Kinko's, which is now what? FedEx Kinko's or just FedEx? I don't even know. And then when I moved here, I did some prints my local copy shops. And it wasn't high quality stuff. So it was just inexpensive, thin paper, color images. I've yet to like any sort of convention setup I've ever done. It's something I got to work on in the future. I kind of just usually slap together things at the last minute. Maybe I have no patience for that thing, but then I always regret it at the conventions. So I definitely have to do better going forward when I do conventions. And Nakamura says the only thing about going with an online store is that you can't check the print for color and sharpness. I've gotten blurred prints before, it sucked. Yeah, I mean, you could pretty much, like, if you did say a dozen different prints, you can just get one of each and have them do that, and then send you a package and look at them and see how many of those those work. You know, it's what you got to do. I mean, there's no other way. Like I had a retro T-shirt made up not too long ago, and one shirt showed up good, and one shirt showed up not good, and so I was on the fence about really broadcasting it. I told people I got it done and had it, but you know, only my closest friend actually went to the link because he demanded the link, and he did buy it, you know, the T-shirt with the logo on it, and you know, he says his is good, so 2 out of 3 worked, and that was through Threadless, and Threadless does other merch, and they also do prints. You know, it's kind of like every sort of place like that does some prints and whatnot. Hey, I went an hour. What do you know? What do you know? So no Vic, eh? Yeah, that sucks. I was looking forward to possibly hang out with him. Is anybody in the chat want to come on for a little bit? Raise your hand. Let me know. Speak your piece now or forever hold your peace. Oh, look, Doc and Mara volunteers. Slings back into the far corner of the room. Yes. Hey. Metal movies and brewskis. L Chat. Welcome, welcome. I was just mentioning Vic King. I dropped Vic the link, but he hasn't showed up, so I don't know. I don't know if he will. I definitely wanted to go an hour tonight. I really want to stream long. I might be able to do that over the weekend. You know, I got to go out and take care of a few things, check some stuff online, then call it a night. I don't want to be up too. Oh, wait. Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil.
Hey.
There he is.
How are you, man?
Hey, Vic.
I was hoping you were up and about, you know. Dude, I've been pumping retro on my channel and in my back channels and everything.
Cool. I definitely
Yeah.
appreciate it. Doc and more, have a great night. I actually got to run. Kitten's on the loose. I got to get up early. Hope the rest of your stream goes great. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was just you. I wasn't sure if you were coming. So,
Oh, I had
so cool.
unfortunate drama shit that came up. Unfortunately,
Oh,
but I was not going to miss this because look, here's the thing:
what's the
professionals
thing?
need professionals need to stick with professionals, right? And we
So,
need.
so we should stick together.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, things only happen because, word of mouth happens. And word of mouth happens only because, your friends start talking about you. you know?
It's
Um,
and if you have friends that you can spread those friends amongst, then and then everybody gains new friends. That's the best way. That is
absolutely. I noticed like I'm getting like one bar on my stream, but it's internet. So it's probably a big delay at times, but we'll work around it. But yeah. I mean, absolutely. Like we only really get noticed and heard of because people are talking about us. I mean, that's the same for like, if there's a new show on some streaming service, it's like I never heard of these actors or this director or anything. I don't know anything. But if your friends start talking about, the show and how much they liked it or whatever, it's like, maybe I'll go check it out.
that's what we have to try to be every single time, right? Like even when the people that show up on a regular basis, right? We have to give them a show. Now, how we do that is up to us, right?
Right.
That that's like that's the key. So my streams are pretty loose and free and subject to insanity, shall we say? A lot of insanity. Um, but that is how I have been able to build as a nobody. That's how I've been able to build a little bit of a base, right?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trade them for anything. So I have to respect them to a level. The balance is how do you maintain that and a professional product at the same time, right? That's
Yeah.
it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah. It's I've come on your show at various times
Yeah,
where sometimes I don't say anything. Sometimes I just observe.
right.
And you and the whole chat are getting into it about this or that, I shall say.
Yeah,
And it's like I have no interest in that. I'm here for the art. I'm here for comic talk. I'm here for, certain things. Like all that
right.
stuff. Okay, go have fun.
It is a weird balance, isn't it? It's like I I don't know from night to night what is going to be the weird hot topic of the night, but there's always going to be one. Um,
That's good, man. I mean, like you're in a way, you're doing it right. Like, you know, like it's not how I would do it, but you're growing so much. You already have an audience that's more active than I wouldn't ever had. Like this channel has been hot at times. It's kind of it's active but mellow currently. Is how I'll put it.
I have I have a tiny audience. I have about 30 people at max, right? But they are regular, right? So like I don't
Yeah.
usually ever dip, especially at nighttime. Sometimes during the day it's a little tougher call. But at nighttime, I never dip below 10 people, which is nothing, right? Like when you're talking about like somebody like Ethan Van Sciver, who gets like
Yeah.
700 people the second he pops up on stream, right? Like 10 people is like nothing. But to somebody like me, right, who has no name in the game, right, to get 10 people and I stream, and I know you've noticed this, but I stream for like
Yeah.
5, 6 to 15 hours at a time. And I will keep that number of people for the entire time. And I
That is
am humbled and blessed by the fact that I'm able to keep them, right? Um,
yeah.
I don't know.
So metal,
You know,
metal movies and brewskis, those inks are coming along sick. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Hey, actually, let me just for a second do this.
yeah, please.
Uh, we'll get back to what you were saying.
Oh,
Keep
yeah.
that thought.
I can't, honestly, I can't wait to see these finish, man. I'm so stoked.
So it's coming along. It's coming along. I would have had this finished, but life has been just nuts for me lately. So it is what it
No,
is. But
it's totally cool. We funded, we're in demand. Um, when I'm able to, like when you're done, right? No rush.
right.
When you're done, and I'm able to
Yes.
put that art, when I'm able to put that art up there, we will get a big boost out of that. Um, we talked in private and everything.
Yeah.
My big thing is this, right? Like, I am going to purchase those inks off from you.
Right.
Whether I'm going to selfishly keep them and frame them up on my wall for myself, or or am I going to give a chance to one of my backers to get them? I'm not sure yet. I'm
Right. Right.
I'll be perfectly honest. I'm tending to have it framed up on in front of my desk. You know,
Well,
um,
like, there's no reason why you shouldn't make money when you can. So I could always throw you a high risk scan of it, and you could print it out, and have it in front of you.
look, I am just. I mean, uh, when
Stuff and
you
things.
said you would do this for me,
Right.
when you said you would do this for me, um, I was like, I gotta remain a man. I gotta keep my composure. I can't be, all stupid and silly. But I was all stupid and silly. I was like, what the fuck? Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I,
man. I see you like, yeah, it's like I didn't hear of you, I don't know, maybe 3 months ago, whatever it was. I don't know you from a hole in the wall,
Right.
but I see this young creator. I see your art, and you're just doing great piece after great piece. And I know you're working hard. You're streaming all the time. It's like I really like, like you know, you're a modern day Michael Turner if you handle things right going forward. You got that potential about you. You know, and
Thank you.
I like your work, and you don't shortcuts. You don't do like you put it all out there, man.
My whole thing is this, right? So like I'm 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 not that young. I wish I
well,
was,
well, it's younger than
but
me. That's all I'm saying.
I'm definitely newer to the scene. Um and I'm at a point where like if I don't do this now, right? If I don't
Yeah.
if I don't take this opportunity, um which weirdly and oddly enough, the crazy COVID whatever, even though I didn't make any money off from I didn't like it was a really tough time with the COVID thing with like doing commissions and things, right?
Right.
Um, but it also gave me a little bit of space to from the projects I was working on for other people to say I need to be able to do this for myself. And I know that that's what you're working with like with retro, right? Like
Right.
you're like I need to take a little bit of time. I know I got all this other stuff that I can do for other people, but I also need to take time for myself and make my and bring my image forward and make my voice be heard. And that's what I love, and that's what I love about tonight. Tonight is about retro going forward. The signups
Go.
are live on Indiegogo. You came
Sick.
into my chat earlier and you posted them. I'm really hoping everybody went up and signed up. I haven't had a chance to, but I'm going to tonight. We got Metal Movies and Brewski in there.
Yeah.
Peter, I don't know if you know Matt from Metal Movies and Brewskis, but he's definitely somebody to you know just to make acquaintance with and tag along with to build your
Does he?
network.
Yeah. Does he have his own channel where does he have
He
videos and
does.
stuff?
He
Okay,
does.
because I know him. I know him in chats. I've seen him in yours, maybe probably also in Rex's, maybe
Yep.
Apex's. I've seen them pop up. So to sign up, I have the link down below, but it's also earlier in the chat. Shadowhawk Talks dropped it. You can go sign up because Retro will go live on Indiegogo sometime next year, and I'll be having a full campaign because back when I did the campaign on Kickstarter, it was only 5 days, and I made just under $2,000, whatever it was. I just wanted a gauge of what my audience was at the time. I wanted to finally get some kind of campaign up there that was mine, as opposed to me being a part of so many other campaigns. Um, but yeah, it's about getting our own creations out there and making that more our focus going forward. And at the same time, it's like we're in this for ourselves, but we're also teaming up with others because I want to see everybody succeed. I want to and let us all grow together and succeed together. Like, there's no better feeling than sharing it with your bros.
And we want to give the consumer, right, the customer, the backer,
right,
the person that's taking a chance on us, right? So crowdfunding is a little bit tricky, right? So it's not an exact point of sales, right? For the most part, if you look at crowdfunding campaigns, most of them are 48 pages to 60 pages long, right? So that puts them, all right, so they're charging $20 to $25 for the backing. That puts them within $5, give or take, of whatever trade back comic is available for the same number of pages, right? So it's actually not that bad price wise, right? But it is still an investment because it's not an assured guarantee like Marvel or DC. It's going to print and it's going to be in the whatever at whatever time, and you can get it for $8. What are they, like $8 now? For I mean, if you're going to get like anything over a 30-page book, it's going to cost you $8 to $10 or $11, right?
Yeah.
So that's just for a 22-page floppy, right? That's not even for like a big book or anything. But it's like a mix, right? With crowdfunding, there's a mix of investment because you want to see the product come to life, right? You're investing in the artist, you're investing in their vision, right? But you're also getting a product back. You're getting a book, right? So that's the beauty of crowdfunding. It becomes a little tricky because people try to use all the different edges because they make that false comparison between the two, between what the mainstream's able to do and what crowdfunding is. It's entirely different scenarios. If it wasn't for crowdfunding, these wonderful projects and wonderful stories would never see the light of day. That's the beauty of the crowdfunding. You are making sure as a crowdfunder, if it's something you like, you are making sure something you like comes to life that would possibly sit in an editor's death pool or circular cycle, right? Goddamn, let me tell you, right? I'm me myself, right? When me and you first connected, and you told me that you were the inker on those early razors, right? I was like, are you kidding me? That's some of the stuff that has driven me to be a comic book artist all my life. I loved that book so much, and
do you remember?
Yeah.
Let me just ask, do you remember? I worked with, for the most part, I worked with a penciler, Rich Pollard.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually chatted with him. Well, it was maybe a week ago, like his birthday. Yeah, it was the 30th of October, the day before Halloween. Was his birthday. So I chatted with him then. Like, we haven't spoken in a couple of years. He's retired now, but he said he retired. Then 4 days later, somebody offered him some art, art to do. It was like, exciting, something for him to work on. So he was like, so much for retirement. Yeah, I worked with him for the most part on Razor. But my artist on Retro, the guy who did the first issue pencils, Rich Fuchsia, another Rich, he worked on a story. He probably did a couple of things for Razor back in the day, but me and him worked on one story together. So that's where I met Rich all those years ago originally. So it's kind of
fun. I remember Rich's name on Razor. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's been a long time. I used to have I had every issue of Razor. I had a horrible flood accident at a relative's house. I lost a collection that was at that time worth over $200,000.
Oh, Jesus, man!
I lost it all. It was all gone. All because my cousin's wife decided that hey, we're gonna, in our safe little basement here, I'm gonna move them from the top shelf to the bottom shelf because I want to put my stuff in. Yeah, I lost like $200,000 worth of comic books.
Yeah,
it was rough. It really was. It destroyed me. I didn't even think about comics for like 5 years afterwards. I was like, no, fuck it. I can't even contemplate the existence. But then I had a kid. He's into Pokemon. He's into Digimon. There's cartoons. There's comics. There's my kid dragged me back into it. I was like, oh, all right. And now my kid's an adult, and here I am. I've got my own comic book. I've done a couple comic books for other people, right? Would I say they were my best work? They were works in progress, right? That's what I will say.
Right.
My best work is what I'm doing right now with BEOWAR. It's my personal vision. It's what I would, at the very least, like people to know about me as a comic book artist.
Right.
And I'm sitting here and I'm watching somebody who inked the comic books that I was inspired by, right? Ink the pencils of my very own book. I mean, Peter, I know, like, it's hard to explain to you. It's hard to explain to you, but I mean, every time I watch it, take brush and pen to this page, it's like it's a joy for me, It's
like, man, that's why I'm here. to bring joy to people.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
I hope I achieve that. Like, I just want to mention really quick. So, Metal Movies and Brewskis said hey to you. Hail Vic King. Then his last comment was, quick. This is so slow sometimes. He says, Retro looks badass, just up. I totally appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like
everybody needs to sign up.
I worked hard on Retro. Yeah, I worked on a Retro, and there's still a lot of hard work ahead of me. But you know, the final product is not going to be my best work. I think by issue 3, I'll hit right. Like issue 2 will be my first time penciling a full book. So it's going to take me a little while to get the kinks out and get into a groove. But I think the potential is there. I mean, all I want to do is work on a regular ongoing series, like something I've been striving for 30 years and have yet to really achieve. You know, I'm always happy to work. You know, it's like we've had talks a couple of times, and it's like I'm always happy to work. But I don't want to just do a good job. I want to be great. And you know, you don't in comics is a very particular art media, you know, and I mean, like if you look at Daredevil, like Frank Miller's run on Daredevil, like his whole run, he didn't hit his stride until a few years in, like stylistically and with his writing and his art. You know, like he had a very tight, very detailed art on the very first issue he did, and it got a lot looser as he tried to, you know, stay within the monthly grind. But you know, he had other people working with him. He had Klaus Janson on inks and sometimes colors, and you know, but like he really came into his own on that book. Like Dark Knight Returns wouldn't have been Dark Knight Returns if he had nothing before that, you know?
Oh yeah, dude. If he had, okay. So here's the thing. Like, I think that the biggest. Okay, so Frank had done some great things, right? But
yeah,
the book that made Frank, that made him Frank Miller before was this, right? He did a book for DC called Ronin.
Yeah.
And,
I love Ronin.
If he hadn't done Ronin, right, and worked out all of those, like that whole series was basically Frank working out all of his demons, right? Visual.
Yeah.
If he hadn't done that, we would not know Frank Miller as we know him today. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a combination of everything. It's like his long ass run on Daredevil and all the books, like graphic novels and stuff attached to that. His work on Ronin, his work on Dark Knight Returns, his work on Sin City, like everything. Like, yeah, his style changed and evolved. And really, like the legend we know today was because, you know, like the good thing about working for Mullen DC is they give you opportunity to do crap and to do good stuff. And, you know, like he did some stuff on the side. He did like a couple of, was it Marvel team ups or with Spider-Man and some other characters and like some stuff that wasn't so hot or whatever. But like, you know, like everything gave him a monthly paycheck and he just like kept going and going. It is Apex Comics. talking about Ronin in Sin City. Yeah, good stuff, definitely. Yeah, I loved Ronin. At the time it came out, I didn't know. Like, I think my brother liked it, but I didn't know anybody at the time that loved it as much as I did.
Oh my god, I loved Ronin. It was. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess I'm a little weird because like, I did have like friends that didn't like because they didn't because Walter Simonson's style was different, right? So
Right.
they weren't huge like Thor fans like I was. I was like, how could you not be a Thor fan and not love what Walter Simonson is doing? Holy shit. You know?
Yeah.
That kind of blew me away. I mean, I had I mean, I've had a few tragic losses in my life, definitely, just like most of us have.
Right.
But one of my most tragic losses was I had it wasn't even big. It was like a 12-inch by 12-inch tapestry that was tied by a string to a wooden dowel um, of that iconic image of Thor with the rainbow bridge in the background by Walter Simonson.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that hung over my bed when I was
Oh.
young, and it hung over my bed when I was an adult, and I had women coming over to be women in my bed. Um,
Right.
it At one point in time in one of my moves, I unfortunately lost that, and when I lost it, it was like losing a friend. It really was because
Mm.
I don't know. I associate with being not just Thor, but I associate with being Walter Simonson's version of Thor. Um, but you know something that comes
Man.
with the territory. If we're comic book creators,
Yeah.
we're a little bit crazy. We're a little bit wacky.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, Metal Moves and Brisky says he just picked up 300. Great book for $15. That book's off. Nice.
Dude,
Yeah, that's a wild book. Like it's like a widescreen hardcover thin book, but it's so
oh
good.
yeah. The fact that I could sit here and even consider the fact that I'm a comic book creator along the side of you, Peter, right? Um,
Right.
I'm smiling so much inside. You know, I that's
um,
that's a great part about this time and place.
yeah.
You're inking my work for my very own book that I'm putting out, and I'm sitting here and I'm just chilling with you, and we're just talking, and we're just jamming, and I'm like, um,
We're just
there
geeking
was
out, man.
there was there was a point in time I thought I'd never make it, you know, right?
Well, it's not a straightforward path. Like I've had my ups and downs, and like I've I've pushed through when other feeble people would have gone on to other things. Um, it's not an easy gig, what we're setting up. But the good thing about here and now, you know, is that we are growing something together, something bigger than us individually, but we're all putting out our own things, you know, and we could do both, and we can, you know, grow this industry, grow this fan base to heights it's never seen before. Like, yeah, you know, Image was a huge thing, and spectators of the 90s and all that, and comic collecting was really huge back then. And, you know, we have things going against us currently, but regardless of all of that, like, you know, like, I believe in comics, and I believe in, like, everybody loves stories. Like, man is made to consume stories. So rather than hanging on your neighbor's porch, hearing about the bullshit in the neighborhood, go pick up one of our books.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, because the stories. Okay, so I mean, definitely not to get into any religious whatever, but between the stories of all the various different religions, but also the stories that were put out as inspirational stories, right? So, I mean, I guess somebody could argue that Gilgamesh was a religious story. People could even argue that Beowulf was a religious story. But these were stories, these were fantastic tales that were told to excite the mind, to excite the imagination. There was some person at some point in time that first thought of these different tales, right? That said, you know something? I want to see humanity, or I want to see mankind think more and be entertained by what I'm telling them. I want them to think more than what's just in front of them, and to be entertained by it, right? Look, I mean, I feel like I really need to take some time, because there's been so many additions to the lore of Gilgamesh that has come to light in the last like 15 years that I've not been able to keep up with whatsoever. And these are just from found texts, you know.
Yeah.
Not just from, but I mean, they're from found texts.
Cool. I'll mention Metal Movies. I picked up 300 for inspiration. The book I'm working on is large format too. Awesome. So,
oh God,
MMB. I'm going to do short. MMB is working on his own book. That's awesome.
Have you met Matt before? Have you talked to Matt before? Metal Movies and Briskies?
I have not.
Oh no. God. Okay. So he's just getting back into the scene and getting into YouTubing.
Right.
But when you go live, or just before you go live with the actual campaign for Retro, get on his channel. He does like an hour and a half interview with you, right?
Right.
I will tell you this. He's gonna blow up on interviews because he actually knows how to interview people, right? There's
Right.
no
Yeah.
awkwardness. There's no awkwardness. He's super professional. He's been around as long as any of us have, and yeah, he knows how to make you look good. He knows how to make you look good. Yeah.
I'm already interested in checking out his channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like when Retro is live, you know, when I freaking get my shit together and get that book out and to the pledgers who pledge to Kickstarter, I think there'll be some word of mouth at that point. And when I go live with Indiegogo, I plan to be on as many shows as possible, not only on YouTube, but like, you know, go around a bit to radio stations and TV stations. Because I am so proud of so many people in doing their own independent comics. Like I saw the Inglorious Rex past 100 grand, yada yada. You know, like I can name books and names across the board, but like so many people are doing so well. There's no reason for us to accept $2 as our limit. You know, like just throwing a number out there.
Don't. That's yeah, absolutely. And you know something. This is something I have to keep. This is something I have to keep telling myself. Right? Is that okay? So here I hit my funding goal, right? Because and my funding goal for somebody like me, right? My funding goal was big, right? That was a big ask, right? Because I've done 2 books with 2 different groups before, right? But essentially, even though I've been in CG for a long time, I hadn't built up, I guess, enough. I was in the process of building up my talent to begin with. So when I began, I wasn't that great, right? I'm still not. But it took me a while to get to where I am artistically, right? And it was I don't want to say it was a hard sell, because what I did was this. When I launched my book, I launched it very simply and very very stripped down by the numbers, right?
Right.
And then I got some feedback from not only other creators but reviewers, right? And the most important thing to do is to listen to all of it.
Right.
And like, I know I don't have to tell you how to take constructive criticism. You've been doing this a lot longer than I have. But to those out there that don't know, the best way to take criticism and constructive criticism is take what you can see out of it, and what you can see that what you can see, what you can acknowledge will help you, right? And then
Yeah. Let me
what,
put it this way. Let me put it this way, because I mean, I don't always take criticism well. You know, I sort of react initially sometimes, you know, even if the person doesn't notice, like internally I'm reacting.
right?
And
We can't help it.
then, you know, and then I
Yeah.
burn off some steam. I let it go. But then a day or two later, I actually think about it, and it's like, you know, what they're saying, like most of what they're saying is garbage, but this point they're making, that's true to what I believe. So
Right.
I have to listen to that.
That's, I
Yeah.
mean, that's the thing, right? Like, so the idea that, okay, so, and this is what I've actually tried to explain to a couple of people about Ethan and people like Ethan Van Sciver and everything is
Right.
that, yeah, you know something? They have 20, 30 years experience in the business. They know exactly what they're doing. They know the finesses and everything like that. But here's the thing. Even despite that, they're still freaking human beings. And when you
Yeah.
poke them too hard, it's gonna hurt. You know, like whether they
Yeah.
will ever admit it or not, right? Like Ethan's very tight, right? But if you poke him hard enough, you will know because you will get a reaction, right?
Yeah.
I've seen it, and um, and you know what it is? It's usually like because Ethan wasn't always the inker on his books. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, so he's developed a
Yeah.
he's developed
He
a
didn't come into comics with all his clout built in already. He had to earn it.
right, and he definitely has earned it. You know,
Yeah.
um, but people will poke little things, right? Now, mind you, this is a guy who scribbles out an outline with you know non-reproductive blue pencil, right? Non-repo
Right.
blue. He'll scribble out an outline, and then he won't pencil it. It'll just go straight to inks. Motherfucker is
Yeah.
crazy, right? Um, God bless him. And every now and then he is not correct. Every now and then he's not right on the money. But I dare anybody else to scribble out a blue rough thumbnail and then go right to inks and be perfect every freaking panel. It's not going to happen. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why Ethan is Ethan, right?
Yeah.
Um, nobody can take away the genius of that, to be honest. There's different things that each genius does that's better or at least more unique than other people. Like uh, there's never been, and people have tried. They have tried so hard. People have tried so hard to mimic. And I'm talking even with the enhancement of being able to do your art digitally. Um, nobody can capture that feeling that that George Perez had with dealing with all of those characters during Crisis on Infinite Earths. You know? Yeah. Untouchable. Untouchable. He just had a way of storytelling that was I don't even know how to describe it.
But he's another story. Like his earlier work was more simplified.
Yep.
He kept his style, which like I look at some artists that have a great style and the fact that they can keep consistently over 30, 40 years. Like George Perez was one of them. You know, John Byrne, a couple people. But let me catch up on the chat. Apex is asking MMB, what's he working on? And he was saying, well, thanks, Vic King. That means a lot, brother. What you were saying before about his interviews and all that. Apex saying that funding goal was quite the hurdle. I'm always learning and improving. And MMB says, me too, Apex is trying to improve every day. And he says that EVS's blue line technique is a phenomenon, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, who's the Jung, the artist Jung who passed away? Like he could walk up to a wall and take out a pen and start in the middle of a drawing and work his way out. Like,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, he was even beyond Ethan's scope. That dude, like, typically that he did his work in like a fisheye perspective, but he mastered it. You know, like and he knew how to draw anything and any type of person. That's what was amazing, right? Was not just that he knew how to create a scene in this context, but he could drop characters in there, and that's what blew everybody's mind. Is that he could drop people in there, characters in there, that would make people feel like they were looking at a real life scene. Now, I know you know this. But anatomy is a huge portion of comic books. But the most important part about comic books, as is the same as any other medium, whether it be movies or TV or anything, is the actors, right? So it's all about the faces. It's all about the faces. You can be a little bit off on the bodies, but you can't be off on the faces. The faces have to be good. If you're off on the faces,
I think it really depends on. I mean, I can get into a whole discussion about this alone, but it really depends on what you're going for. Because like Todd McFarlane didn't have good anatomy, but yeah, his faces were good and expressive and really interesting, and he'd blow them up a lot of times, like the. Was it Scratch and Itch? What were the detectives like? the two guys. They had their own book. I forget their names, but one was. It was almost like Laurie and Hardy. Like one was tall and thin, the other was, short and fat, and just like make interesting characters, make interesting situations. I want to say, I want to say when you were talking about Gilgamesh or the Bible or religious stories.
Gilgamesh, yeah.
Gilgamesh. Yeah, yeah. I was like, so essentially what they were creating back then was like an anthology of stories, like the first Kickstarter from the
Right.
1400s. No,
And that's and that leads us to where we are, right? So even if we admittedly humbly fail by comparison to the amazing scribes of the past, right? We are what's in front of us. This is the thing we need to remember, right? As creators, right? It's not about comparing ourselves to the past. We should have the past to inform us, right? But what we need to realize is that we are those scribes in front of us now. We are the people in front of humanity now, being those scribes, being those entertainers, being those sharers of stories. And I guarantee you, at some point in time, Stan Lee had a very similar conversation with the people that were making the initial Marvel comics. Right? I guarantee you he had a very similar conversation. Right? Because we are built upon each other. Right? I mean,
BEOWAR. Do you like? Like this is a burning desire for me. Like, I may trip my whole way there. I may take, run around the corner a couple of times, but eventually, like, I'm going to be putting out stories that I want to, I have things to say. It's not even so much as things to say. It's just, I got to get my own voice out there. And I want people happy because of that. It's like, I want to make great art. I want to make great stories. And, it's just, it's like, first there was radio, then there was black and white movies with no sound. It's like, when we have comics, this is our joy, and this is our way of putting our stories out there. And I'm putting on a show. And I want the audience to love it. That's the main thing.
Now, I got to tell you, though, right? I agree with 100% what you said, right? Here's the thing, okay? We have been put on, as comic book artists, right? We have been put on notice from the late 1970s through today, with the inclusion of CGI and all of that. We have been put on notice, right, to step up our game. Now, there were different artists that were able to absolutely do that. You have John Byrne, you have George Perez, you have Mark Silvestri, you have Jim Lee, right? You have Brett Booth. Okay, so Brett Booth was kind of like Brett Booth is like, currently he's a success story, right? So Brett Booth,
Right.
back in the late 80s, early 90s, and everything, he was kind of like, you know, he had Backlash. Backlash was freaking awesome. But before he even got Backlash, he was kind of like a copy and paste kind of style artist, right? Like,
Right.
do my thing the way I want it done. And even after Backlash, right? Even after the success of Image and everything, right? When they were like selling basically Wildstorm to DC and everything, um, he didn't have ownership of that, right? That was all.
Right.
That to me, that was like the crazy thing. It's like, wait a second, uh, uh, an Image guy doesn't have control over his own creation. Well, that's fucked, right?
Mm. Yeah.
In my that's what I always thought.
Yeah.
So he did a bunch of work for, like, when Jim Lee did his version, like the Heroes Reborn version of
Fantastic
Fantastic
Four.
Four.
Yeah.
He did a lot of the fill-in art and everything, and but now look at his art. Like, this dude has stepped up his game. This dude is saying, you know something? F all of you that came before me and used me. I'm gonna put out there how great I am. And he's done some amazing
Right.
stuff. He did a great run on Bloodshot. His run on the Flash with DC was amazing.
Right.
He did the Marvel. Oh God, what was that series? But it was like a retro X-Men series. And he did the covers for that. I mean, he primarily is a cover artist right now, right? But
Right.
oh, God, like, but he did interiors for that Bloodshot run, which was amazing. Yeah, and he's got his own stuff going. And but this is where we need to be too.
He was on Joe Sontag's show, I believe, right?
Oh, was he? Oh, Joe Sontag is amazing. It doesn't surprise me that he was. Joe Sontag,
or at least Joe talks about him so much. I think he's on the show. But,
yeah. That could be.
I think he was. Yeah.
Um,
I'll mention MMB says, Apex Comics, sorry for the late response. I'm working on Hell War, a Viking metal bounty hunter book. That sounds awesome. Sorry.
Absolutely. No. Absolutely. We are positioned nicely. All right. It's just all up to us. Like maybe I'm talking bigger than my own pants. I mean, my campaign's only done 5. So I'm definitely talking bigger than my own pants. But yeah, I'm always going to talk bigger than my own pants because I'm always going to shoot for more. I'm always going to shoot bigger.
I think that's ultimately that's most important. not because it's like not in a way that you're out to piss people off or like brag, blah blah blah. No, I mean, like, as an artist, I mean, we have these visions that become our stories, and it's like, if we didn't dream big, then we might as well just give up now, because, like, what's the purpose?
So
Yeah.
I had this this hater, this CG hater, talk about me and BEOWAR for like 10 minutes on his stream within the last day, right?
Right.
And he couldn't say anything bad about my art, right? All he could do was talk
Right.
about Comicsgate in general and his presumptions of Comicsgate.
Yeah. That's
But
just an outsider.
he was focused on me for 10 minutes, and he couldn't say anything bad about my art. Nothing. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I mentioned to you, I'm watching The Last Dance, which is Michael Jordan and friends during the 90s of their heyday,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really interesting. What's that?
No, I said, yeah.
Oh, um, it's just really interesting because it comes at the story from all the people involved, their individual stories, but also just every angle. And there's a lot of, we're no, like, sports heroes here. Like, we're much, 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 much small and niche.
But we are, though.
You
But we are, though.
well, it's like, it's funny as I'm watching the show. I'm like, is there a way where we can have competitions between all of us that will be like state versus state? Like, how would that work with comics?
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
I could win. I could win this year. I could, beat everybody else somehow. I don't know.
that that's the beauty of independent comics, right? That's the beauty of what we're doing right now, right? So Ethan is unarguably the most regularly, consecutively successful independent comic creator, right? So you can say, oh yeah, Esau made blah 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 blah, right? Yes,
Right.
Esau blew him out of the water, right? Great. Is Esau number 2 going to be able to do it? That's a different thing. Ethan's been able to prove,
Right.
right? So there's the value in that, right? Um,
Yeah.
can Ripa do it a second time? That's a different story, right?
So
My
that's
guess,
Eric July. For those that don't
yeah,
know.
Eric July. My guess is that
Yeah.
he could, because uh, he did deliver a great product, right? But
Right.
my feeling is also that, much like with Ethan, the second time around, there was a little bit of a drop off with the culture war aspect of it. Now, I I don't think that Eric could deny that there was a culture war boost to his backing, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But at the end of the day, I hope that like when and if that culture war aspect kind of fades a bit, I hope that he doesn't stop creating comic books. Like I know Ethan's not going to stop creating comic books no matter what, right?
Right.
I think it would take a lot to get him back to a mainstream book, but even if it came to that, at least we'd have Ethan going back to a mainstream book. Like that's who he is. He's not going to change. You know, he's a comic book artist, right?
Who's to say? Like, I never thought I would see Jim Lee up at DC. Like, I never thought I'd see, after all these years, Mark Silvestri working on his ultimate book being, a DC book with Batman in it.
I know, right?
I thought these creators like really like were totally independent and whatnot. So look, we've gone over 2 hours, and this isn't one of your 8-hour streams. So I definitely appreciate you coming on and chatting, and I do want to do longer streams. I just my schedule is all over the place.
Oh no, I totally get it.
Okay.
I apologize, brother.
Oh no, don't apologize. Just do your thing. So actually, let me fix the settings. Hold on a second. So this is the cover. Let me get rid of this frame kind of thingy, and click. Okay, so there we go. We got a full screen. So top to bottom, this is what it's looking like.
Is
more detail beautiful. Coming. Yeah. So yes. So if you haven't backed BEOWAR yet, especially my cover, I want to see like a dozen people at least pick up that cover, please.
Oh, we're gonna get trust me, dude. Especially when when the art hits. Oh my god,
yeah.
dude.
The colors go on it. Yeah, it's gonna look beautiful. It's gonna look dynamite. But thank you everybody for coming, especially you, Vic, and everybody who joined us in the chat. Like this video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to throw me a tip, there's a PayPal tip jar. And here's Dan. Boob Dan. Man, it's like if I did go along, I could invite all these cool people on. Hello, friends. He says in his
we love you, Dan. We love you, brother.
Yeah, we did. He's popped in this channel a bunch. But yeah, you can throw me a tip on my paypal.me/Palmiotti, or you can become a patron at any point for any amount to support the channel and me. I don't know when I'm streaming next. I hope to stream over the weekend. I'll just put it that way, and we'll see where things take me. I gotta, the point of my life right now is I gotta make a ton of money. So if you want to pre-order one of my prints, I showed those off all online. Please do so. Message me direct, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the best way. I posted some art in a short video the other day. You can buy one of those pieces or two, or for a friend, for your mom, whatever. Yeah, all that jazz. But I appreciate you one and all, and we'll see you again.
So
Yes.
here's one thing. Here's one thing I want to do before you leave, right? Because I know I know that there are BEOWAR fans out there right now, right? Look,
especially Dan.
this gentleman named Peter Palmiotti, right, asked me if I had an interest in owning the original inks to this page, and I selfishly said yes. Oh hell yes, I do. Right, I really did. Right, and I really do. But here's the thing, right? He offered me like a ridiculously nice price on it, right? I want you guys to know that I'm going to forego that so that you guys can purchase this, right, at the righteous price that it should be sold at.
Well, I'll tell you, the price I would love to get for these pieces is $200. You know, that's like my inking rate for covers and pinups is $175.
That's nothing. That's dude.
Well, so I'm told, but you know, I don't have these clients banging on my door at the moment, so that's the reality.
No. Yeah. No, I totally get that. So everybody, and I'm gonna contact the person that I gave away the pencils to. It was in the closing campaign phases. I gave away the pencils, right? The original pencil art.
Right.
Maybe they would like the ink art, so I will contact them.
Here, I'll take a minute and I'll show you. So look, I have these pieces, which I think are pretty excellent. You know, we've all seen this one. These are my inks over Dale.
I love it.
I chatted with Dale on Messenger a couple of days back, whatever it was, and he mentioned how beautiful my inks were on this.
Gorgeous.
I haven't sold this yet. This is still for sale. Like, make me a decent offer. I'll sell it right now. Like, okay, so I got this piece, which is for Dave Brink. And
I know. The
pencils to this. These are my inks, but the pencils to this sold on his campaign for $500. I haven't yet to get a buyer for this. This is another piece by Nicholas Gear. Is beautiful, gorgeous.
Yeah,
that I inked. You know, it's on Redline. You know, some people are not into buying artwork with, you know, that isn't pencils and etc. But a lot of people are. Like, it doesn't matter really. I think it's gorgeous.
No.
Yeah. So then this is Dirk Clay with Ballad of the Celestials. You know, I got two covers from him. I got the wraparound cover. You know, he does beautiful work. We'll probably be doing more work together. You know, and this is a single cover. This is an older piece I did of my character retro over artist David Fraught. This is going to be one of the prints available with the campaigns. And yeah, I just want to say that. And then this is the so I want to start a series of doing fan art where it's my art, and this is my pencils and inks. And you know, I'm not asking much for these, but like if I could set any of this. Oh, and I also got this one, which is a great piece that's going to be the back cover image to Retro Issue 1 by Gaz Gretzky. He does good work. You know, and if I sold half of this, I'd be in great shape. Like, you know. But meanwhile, like, what I'm looking at is my internet going out on Monday. So there's that.
Oh shit! We can't. No. We can't let that happen. Look. I'm. I'll be honest with you.
I don't know anybody. Like, I asked everybody I know. Like, I asked people I don't know. We could brainstorm and connect over the weekend or something.
Yeah, I mean, look. You know my audience, right?
Right.
You've been to my channel. You've hung around enough, right?
Well, I don't know if they're wealthy or
I
not.
think
Like, I don't know. Like my audience likes to like my work and then leave. Like, they don't comment a lot. You know, I've done auctions with my former art rep. I've done auctions with Red Valkyrie. I've sold artwork online, but usually I have to price it really cheap.
Oh,
you know, it's a sin.
Peter, I gotta tell you, brother. Okay, so we had on my channel we had an insane auction. About a month and a half ago, right? Or 2 months ago. It was the night. It was the night of the launch of BEOWAR, right?
Oh, okay, cool.
It was so successful. It was touted as being the most entertaining, most successful auction. Well, I mean, not most successful, because like Ethan's auctions, like when Ethan auctions his pieces, they go for like $1,000 a piece. But everybody, it was the
Do you
most.
want to set up an auction on your channel?
Huh? It wasn't. Ethan's wasn't on my channel, but
no, I'm saying, do you want to set up an auction for my work? Because I have more than this. I just got tired of plugging the old stuff over and over.
Yeah. Look, I mean, it will be a mix of artists, right? It'll be you, me.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So I'm behind on mailing. I'm behind on mailing stuff, as you know, us artists can get a little, right?
Yeah.
The IGG money, which allows me a little bit of payment for my art, hits early part of this upcoming week. And all my backdated mailing is going to go out, and then we will set up, because I won't set up another auction until I have that all out, right? And everybody has a confirmation number of their mailing.
Right.
But once that happens, I will set up another another auction stream. And I will tell you this: even though Ethan Van Sciver, the great Ethan, who I love Ethan. Like, the dude is one of my heroes, right? But maybe even maybe even including him. All right, I'm going to be a little egotistical. Our auction stream was the most fun auction stream that has ever been in indie comics to date. It may not have raised the greatest amounts of funds, but it was the most fun. Everybody that was on the panel sold, right? Everybody that was in the chat had a tremendous time. There were three battles between who was going to win which auction, right? It was a great night. In fact, it was one of the best nights that's ever been in CG. People have told me that that was the greatest night CG has ever had, right? So you are definitely on board for the very next one. I just have to live up to my responsibilities and get the initial pieces out.
I totally get it. I might find a miracle over the weekend and survive, but
so wait a second. Can I ask you a question? Right.
Sure. Sure.
So you need to pay the internet, the cable.
Do I need it?
Is that what you're saying, right?
Well, I mean, without the internet, as it is, I don't have a phone at the moment because the service got turned off. But that was a complication with my friend who passed away, and the phone was in her name and yada yada. I had it so we can keep tabs of all her notifications anyway. So they finally realized she passed, and thus I have no phone. So internet is my only means of communication with people outside of the neighborhood. I can go to the library, but it's to go to the library every day just for internet. It's pain in the ass. All right. I can get by. But
no. No. Okay, listen. Look. I'm just like you. I'm 100% like you, right? But everybody shoves it down my throat that if I don't speak up for myself, right? If I don't say what, and I still fight with it, I really do, right? But if I don't say what needs to be done in the time that it needs to be done, then it won't be done, and it will hurt myself, and it will hurt the people that follow me, right? So that cannot be an option. So you have to swallow a little bit of pride, right?
I'm trying.
Say, I need this amount of money to be able to keep things running. And what I usually suggest, right? Because you don't know once you get money that comes in, you don't know how much they're going to take out of it from the transfer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you also don't know if Google or Amazon is going to go, oh yeah, I forgot that you subscribe to this $1.99 subscription from 2000 and whatever, right? And
Yeah,
then
I mean,
they take the $1 away that you need to pay your
yeah,
internet. So
I literally have been living on the edge, you know, this past year because I was trying to get a bunch of books done, you know, and everything's turned topsy turvy. Anyway, what I need to make it through Monday is at least 250. Above and beyond that, I'll need rent money, I'll need food money, you know, living expenses. So like you could triple that
all
for
right.
sure.
So $250, right, is like what you
Right.
need, like just base level, right?
Yeah, to get through Monday, to have my internet, to have, you know, roof over my head at the moment.
So what would you okay, so um and I'm just gonna be honest. The
Yeah.
best piece that you showed, like the
Right.
most impact I don't want to say the best, the most impactful piece that you showed, right,
Right.
was the Reaper Destroyer piece, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Now,
that's great. That's great. That's great. Like, I mean, those are three most impactful pieces. If I can get 200 each, then that covers a good majority of, you know, even with what's taken out and shipping and handling and all that, blah blah blah. It would still cover a lot of expenses. So that's what I'm looking at. You still there?
yeah. No. I'm thinking, right? So
Doing math?
I'm thinking like the third one I'm not so familiar with necessarily. The first two, you know, I definitely think you can get like I definitely think you can get what you're asking for for the uh, for the Reaper Destroyer and for the Perfect 10, right? But I'm trying to think of
Well,
the best ways to
if I get if I get like if I sell these two, that would be 400. That would,
yeah.
you know, get me through the week. Like I
I
have
mean,
other options and other possibilities, but
I'm no,
things are beyond sight. Yeah.
I'm sitting there and I'm like I'm looking at both pieces and I'm blown away. Um, like how many people are watching your stream right now, right?
5 at the moment. I mean, you know, there's been more people here previously.
Right. Okay. So here's okay. So here's a problem. Has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with your skills, right? Whatsoever, right?
Right.
Um, my God, man, you're like a pro inker. I mean, look at these pieces. You look at that Reaper Destroyer, and then you look at the Perfect 10 piece. I mean, I
Yeah.
look at the smart field that you put inside this guy over here, right? Oh shit! I mean, I'm striving my hardest to figure out where to spot my blacks. I mean, I understand the idea of like the bottom, but it's not always, is it? Where the bottom level of like where it's lowest to the ground is where the heaviest line is, but it's not always that. There's way too many exceptions to that. So
Yeah, I mean, it's
I,
yeah, it's a guttural thing that you
yeah,
know, like I don't say I always attack it, brilliantly, but um, yeah, it's just go with my guts over time, and it's definitely like these two pieces are examples of where I'm getting to now because even like 2 years ago, I wasn't happy with my skills because, it's almost like I dropped inking for a while because I was focused on other things. And um, I worked my ass to get back to where I was. And in the last year, I've even upgraded on the quality of my work, especially
right.
since I've been doing a lot more cover work and whatnot. Um, and working on more different artists and learning from each of them. Um, yeah, it's just a matter of um, either making those connections, like one or one or two connections that will like really set things right, or selling a bunch of pieces that would set me right, or having some luck. um Life has been challenging and difficult because of various reasons. My friend
Oh,
passing away, like we had each other's back, and that really hurt uh me, not only mentally but like, yeah, like we covered each other's asses a lot. um and I don't have that anymore, and that super sucks. And she was outside of comics, so you know, she wasn't like one of the flaky people. Um, but
yeah, we
it's
we
like
are flighty
I, I
people,
have
aren't we?
I have people. Yeah, I have people that want me to ink for them, but don't have the money or don't have the product right now. Like, there's one guy that he moved recently, so it's like he wants me to ink a story, a backup story for him, and it's like only a little thing can change my life right now. Like, um,
Well, no,
and
and I absolutely trust me. I absolutely understand that. Like, um, putting and I know you will go through this with retro, right? So,
yeah,
putting forward
I
BEOWAR,
mean,
right?
I'm right.
I don't have any of the financial benefit from BEOWAR right now, but
Right.
um, what I the cloud or whatever that I have is that it funded, right? So that does help in a regards, right? So when you do
Right.
retro funds, that will help with the like the current era of social media and in the context with crowdfunding. Um,
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a little bit of my immediate future, if you don't already know. Like, I'm going to be gone to Florida for 2 months with family. It's something
mhm,
I have to do. Uh,
right.
Now, during that time, I'm not going to be focused on artwork or inking or whatever. Like, I might be in touch. I might be stream, just like talking streams, like you know, some people do. But I am going to focus on coloring, like learning Procreate and learning Clip Studio Paint, so that when I come back home, that's when I'm going to color retro.
Okay.
Since I couldn't get a dependable color, I'm going to do it myself. I want to do it myself at this point anyway. But when I do get back home, which will probably be around February, I think I'm leaving in December. I'm not 100% sure, but whatchamacallit, when I get back, I'm going to get a day job because I'm tired of this, you know, some things happening, some things not. This slightest thing screwing up my schedule. I need a dependable paycheck. And a large chunk of that money that I make on a day job, that's going into fulfilling the Kickstarter, and then getting ready for the Indiegogo. So that's what I'm looking at right now. So I just need to.
Is that in December
until next month? Yeah, it's like I'm busy and working from now to early December.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but after that, you know, once I'm away, I'll be working on learning the color programs. I'll be probably writing a book, because that's something I could pick up and put down at a moment's notice. I'll sort of be on other people's mercies when I'm out there. And yeah, it's so I've been dealing with a lot, like personally speaking, like, you know, publicly, I'm not going to let everybody know all my business, but there's a lot going on that's out of my control.
So I know that. Okay, so I can't ink like you, right? Like I'm sitting there looking at that. I'm sitting there looking at that Dale Keown Reaper Destroyer, and I'm looking at this perfect 10 piece, right? And I can't ink like that, right? I'm working at getting at that level, right? Of inking.
Right.
Okay. I think the one advantage that I have, right, is that I'm creating for people their, you know, their images or their, you know, desired images to their perspectives the best that I can, right? And I know even doing that, it's a struggle. It is a struggle, right?
Yeah.
And so getting my comic book funded, right, is going to help me tremendously along my way, right?
Yeah. I'll just mention, like, not too long ago, I was trying to get a book called Designated funded, and that wasn't successful. It happened at a bad time. That's when my friend passed away, and yet still worked on stream, like doing whatever 30 streams with my friend Mark, who is the creator writer of it. That if that funded, that would have covered me, and I wouldn't be in the predicament I'm in now. Like, you know, it's like I just want to throw my hand through walls It's like, like just so close and yet so far. But
I think
you
I think
know,
we
like
I
I'm
think
just trying to follow along.
I think I really want to have a conversation with you, like behind the scenes, right?
Yeah,
Um, I don't want to do it until I feel that I can. I don't know if you know what that means. Like I don't want to have a conversation with you and give you like um give you any kind of
I get the gist.
false sense of anything. You know what I'm saying? But
Right. No, I get you.
let me.
It's like,
It's okay. So I
it's like
think I I think that me and you, right, are very much
right,
like akin artistically. Like we're kind of like soul brothers in a sense, right? Like we're trying to do the
right.
exact same thing, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and I totally want to bring you along, you know, because I will tell you this, right? It's not that I hate ink. I just don't understand it as well as somebody like you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I just don't.
Yeah. I mean, I look at
Um,
your art and I see really beautiful work. And I see also, as an inker, the potential of it. As I do with every freaking artist I look at. Like,
right.
because I've been doing this so long, it's just built in, like, it's almost like a camera lens that focuses whatever it's looking at. It's a big built-in mechanism at this point.
Hmm.
So it's like I'm not going to finish your sentences, but I get a grasp of what you're talking about or coming out.
Yeah. Like yeah, like if suddenly tomorrow I had another 5 grand in backing on BEOWAR, I'd be able to afford to get you to ink the rest of BEOWAR for me. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Right. Like we talked, we talked about the project with Apex, and it's like Apex wants us to do that project. We want to do that project. We all want to work together. Um,
mhm.
that's something that will do me good down the line, but like doesn't bring me a cent at the moment.
No, and I get that. I mean that's like where the crux is. Uh, where okay, so I to be honest, I'm like I'm I'm pretty blown away by the idea that I've made it so far as to be having these kind of conversations with you, right? You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
but I think it's like I mean, obviously, it's great for me because I came from absolutely nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Right.
but I think it's good for the audience to hear too because um, they need to need to understand the real world of what it takes. It's just not. It's not like if you're dealing with independent comics, it's an entirely different monster than dealing with the mechanism of mainstream. Whereas the comic books you buy in July of 2022, they were actually written and drawn in August of 2021. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
The system has that cushion that we don't have, right?
Yeah.
They could pay artists and they could pay writers to do stuff, create product. They sit on it until they're ready to release it, right? And they release it as they see fit, and you have no say and you have no guidance over it. You've done your job, you've done your piece, and it's great up to a point, right? Where
Yeah.
they've paid you the stated value of your work, right? That you've agreed upon. Now, the best part and the worst part of crowdfunding is either you make what you're worth or you don't, right? That's the crux. That really is the
Yeah,
crux.
it's like I didn't, and it's many things involved in why it didn't go well.
Mhm.
But if it did, I would have had some extra cash in my hand and been good for the rest of the year. But such as we're gonna have to tackle it again at a better time. I want to say hello to James Hayes, who showed up. Welcome. Yeah, and it's been just a lot of that, like potential things taking forever. I'm not super fast, but I'm working on the wrong things. It's like if I had to go back and redo this year, I would have like canceled out half the work I did because it didn't bring me a dime, and I should be smarter, but like there's no way to predict everything like this. It's like I'm taking a risk working as a freelance artist, and
Yep.
it didn't pay off this year. In a big way. But c'est la vie, like, such is the way it goes. Like, so I have to scrimp and scramble for a little while, and that is the existence I chose. And things, I'll make damn sure things go better next year. I'm kind of, it's like the 4th of this month, and I'm kind of in a month from now, I'll be with family and not worrying about any of this.
Right.
But meanwhile, I do have to take care of business one way or another, like whatever it takes. Unfortunately, like getting a day job right now is like I can't do that because potentially I could get a call and be gone before the end of this month. So, I'm gonna
Well, I
between two rocks, as they say.
I totally understand. I've been battling having to get a day job myself, and it may. I mean, I've been lucky. I've gotten just enough commissions to keep me from not having to quite go there. But I'll be honest. I've been in a battle with my landlord, and it's all because I don't have set dates when I can give him rent. So I will find out in a week or so. I will find out in a week or so whether I need to get out or not. So that's that's a little stressful of a situation. I think if according to what IG has told me, IGG Indiegogo has told me,
right.
I should have the funds for the book in the first part of this upcoming week, and I should be able to take I set aside a slight bit amount to quantify paying me for the art, right? And I should be able to take that part and satiate my landlord. I'm hoping,
Right.
I mean, if not, I'm out, gonna be searching. But like people, I don't want to paint a bad picture of artists, right?
No, man. I mean, this goes above and beyond just being an artist. This is just real life. Like lots of people are struggling now. Like, the benefits of COVID are over. Like, it's just, with what's left. Like, I don't know about like where you're living in your area, but all the prices here have gone up. Living expenses are much more. My rent is more. Yada yada yada. I have 3 cats. I was taking care of so many more cats. I stopped taking care of all the strays because I couldn't afford it anymore. I stopped taking in stray cats. I stopped, helping all that. And meanwhile, like, what I was paying for food and all that previously for many, many cats, I'm paying the same price for just these 3 cats. It's ridiculous. It's
no, I
nothing's
know.
helping. Yeah.
My rent went up this past month. Went up $140, right?
Yeah.
I spend an entire week, sometimes, where I get maybe 3 or 4 $30 commissions, right? But I have to lower it at $30 because I'm a nobody, right? And I'm playing to a very small crowd. Every now and then, and lately, like over the last few months, I've tried to wait until I got like 20 or more people, right? Because I know I got like 10 solid people that follow me, right? So I'm not gonna pitch the same shit to the same 10 people that follow me. I'm gonna wait until there's a significant amount of more people that I pitch to. So I wait till I have 20 to 30 people. And
People should be
thankfully,
paying more for this.
Yeah. I mean, clearly, like, I'm doing commissions that should be like $100 or more, but
yeah. No, trust me, I know. Like I charge a lot less just to make a sale, man, just to have some money coming in rather than like getting what I should be
always
getting.
be selling,
And
always be selling.
I hear it all the time. It's like I hear my prices are low, my prices are low, my prices are low, and like that
Yeah,
doesn't really do me any like.
not if anybody's not buying, it doesn't do you any good. That's what I've told people
Yeah.
too. I've gotten the same advice, but it's like, look, you gotta listen to your crowd. You gotta understand who your audience is. If your audience isn't people, listen, like I've had people in just as much dire straits as I am, right? Give me money to do art, and I didn't know that they were just in as bad a straits as I am. And then I'm like, why did you do that? You are like in the same boat that I am. Don't. I only want people that are in better straits than I am. Like, because I understand where it's like to be where I'm at. I do. And I mean, obviously, because they are like people like you and me, they're like, no, I will not take a refund. I will not let you do that. I want this. And so you have to do it. But I mean, that's part and parcel of the burden of being a creative, right? Of being an artistic person. Like you have to understand that. You have to deal with it. And it's not always easy. It's like there's a selfishness. Yeah, you want to get paid. You don't want to
James
get
says, I would prefer if you learn to say that you're an unknown rather than a nobody. Mindset of flexibility. Yeah,
no,
nobody like
James.
you're not a nobody. Like you're just unknown. Like but you do much better work than a lot of people I see out there. Like like uh unknown, like you're not a complete unknown, you're just not
No.
known by the masses. Like I may be a popular name, but I'm not necessarily a drawer. I have to have a few successes in a row to get to really the plateau I need to be, but that's not happening this year. That will be more next year. I have a dozen books I want to release, but also I need the finances to make that happen. So it's always a conundrum.
It is. It is. It is. It is. It absolutely is. Like a year and a half ago, I'd be sitting there going, Peter, I'll draw all your books for you. Tell me which one. Tell me. I'll draw anything you want. And I'll do it for free. Because that's where I was a year and a half ago. I was just drawing fan arts and everything, and I had no idea of what it actually took to put a book together until I did one. Right. Once you actually put a book together as an artist, you get an understanding of what it takes. Now, the first book I put together was not a was not a success even in my community. It was a book that was heavily influenced by German expressionist block printing, and yeah, uh, needless to say, BEOWAR is much not that, and very amazing. Please, everybody, go check out BEOWAR.
That's true. Links down below in the video description box.
And get the Peter Palmiotti exclusive cover. God's sake.
That's right.
Cover. Look at that.
James said, what is art worth to someone with nothing? Well, what is art worth to wake up to something, even a trinket that makes you smile? There you go.
Right.
I mean, you know, the nicest people I know are usually the ones who are broke the most. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you.
I've been very blessed, right? So, like, whatever my fan base is, right? Whatever my crew is, they have kept me skirting the edge. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've never let me fall to true bottom. So, you know, BEOWAR, and they were so much engaged in making BEOWAR happen. That's the other thing, right? They were so much engaged into BEOWAR, making BEOWAR happen. In fact, all right, see down here, Hiawatha, also known as Shep. He says ride or die. This guy, this guy has dedicated, and we're not pulling out this weapon just yet, right? We're gonna pull out this weapon at a very crucial period of time. But when it was looking like BEOWAR may or may not fund, right? Like we were getting so close, but we were running under so less days for it to get funded. He donated a Hall of Heroes #0 Salamandroid cover by Ethan Van Sciver, right?
Nice.
In the bag and board from the day that he got it. Never been opened, right? That kind of book,
80s made.
that kind of book goes from like $700 to like $1,500 on eBay, right?
Right.
If we had been able to auction it that night that we offered it, nobody came around that night, you know. But that would have funded the campaign right there. And I was like, you know, but when we funded, I was like, dude, you don't have to worry about that. We funded. He was like, no, I gave that to the campaign. I gave that to you. I gave that to the campaign. All right. And so we do have other evils we want to defeat, and I will pull it out when we need to do so. But Peter, I got to tell you, here's the thing, right? Like, no matter what magic we can put on paper, me and you both, individually, together, or otherwise, the only magic that exists is in our chat. That's it. In our following. That's it.
Yeah, everybody messaged John Malin for us to do a backup story. Like, if we can get it high,
yes,
by John Malin.
No, I'm totally for that. Yes. Yes. Dude, I like so I don't know what Apex. I mean, Apex hasn't talked to me about details or anything. I don't know if Apex has talked to you
No.
about details. Right,
It's
but
probably like a next year dealio.
yeah, I kind of figure that, but
he has mentioned that we will be paid. So
at the
that's
same
good.
at yes, that's most definitely good because they ain't gonna have another one. I'm sorry. I'm at the position where I have to say that if I ain't getting paid,
No.
I'm not. I can't give away free. I can't give away totally free art anymore. Occasionally, I can give away free pieces of art, but I can't give away whole comic books. No, hell no. But
Coach lives by my cow. Sure, that means something to somebody.
Coach is mailing. Coach is mailing. I don't know what the rest of it means.
Yeah.
But coach is mailing. John Malin. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, people call him Coach. Yeah.
James Hayes says Dillard is
rubbed off me first. Yeah. Yeah, man. I had sweet deals in my time, just not happening at the moment, you know. But you know, somehow turn these things around, and you know, I'm available for commissions. I'm available for inking work. I'll put it out there. If you want me and Vic on a project, by all means, I'm down. Like, if it's Pokemon, I don't give a shit. Like, if you got something and you got the cash, hire us tomorrow.
Exactly. Hey, Peter. Okay. So I know you said earlier that you have a little bit of a backlog of stuff that you've inked, right?
Yeah.
The advice I would give you, and you can take it or leave it, is
Right.
is make an individual post for every single piece, and put a price on it. You know, a reasonable price, right? Right. Um, put a price on it, and just put it out on Twitter, put it out on Instagram, get them sold. Get them sold. It may not be the ideal price that you wanted, right? It might not be like this is what it would go for in an auction or whatever, right?
Right.
But put like your baseline. This is it. This is the least that I would accept for this piece. Put it out there. Get as many of them sold as you can.
Right.
This upcoming week, I should be getting the funds from INDIEGOGO, right? Which means two things. Which means I'm gonna mail out all of my back mailing, right? But also it means that I'm gonna own that piece of art that you're working on because I'm gonna pay you for it.
Right.
And you know, here's the thing. Like, I feel like you're part of my network right now.
Right.
I don't want to say we're partners or anything of that nature necessarily,
Right.
but I feel like we could do a lot for each other.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, we're on the same page in many ways, and
Yeah.
and I don't get that with everybody I meet. You know. So, like, I definitely wish great things for you, and I get that you feel the same for me, and
Yes.
we love comics and love art and love stories and love like the community and streaming and all the craziness, and especially boobs. Did I mention boobs?
Boobs.
But
Speaking of boobs, um, I don't know if you've caught on to any of the underlying hints or anything like this, but dude, I don't know how I'm gonna make it happen, but I'm gonna make it happen. I want to get you to ink my razor. I want you to ink my razor.
Did you draw a piece recently, or something you're going to do?
Something I'm gonna do. I've drawn razor a couple times, but
Well, you have to show me those. I'm curious.
let me see if I
But yeah, I'd be down to ink a razor by you.
I think I have. I mean, I think it's partially inked by me. Hold on.
Sure. Thank you, everybody who's hanging out with us. We have 6 people currently. There were 8 people. Oh, okay. Here we go. Hold on a second.
Oh no, I'm not going to be able to find it. I have 4 books.
Okay.
I have 3 books of artwork here. I can't dig through the file. I can't. I'm not there.
Okay. No problem. You could just
let me
send
say
via Twitter.
I don't want to see my inks on razor. God no. I want to see your inks on my razor. So I mean, there's a distinct story. I will come up with a very 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 special, like the razor I did was just a straight on, like standing shot. Nothing exciting. Nothing.
What's your concept of like what would be your ultimate razor pinup? Like something very simple and straightforward and G level, or like something R and like bloody and nudity and like how extreme? I'll do either or. Like I'm just curious, like what's like one of the shots of razor that you love?
All right.
What'd you say?
So if you got, do you remember that? Okay, maybe you might actually ink this issue, right? Or bet on the inks on this issue. Do you remember the issue where she's traveling with the trucker, right? And
Right.
then he makes like an inappropriate move towards her, and she has to kill him, right? But she's on her way to go to the psych ward to save her sister, who she doesn't know is gonna wind up being like her worst enemy, right?
Right.
Um,
I'll tell you, like story wise, I don't remember shit. It's been a while. I know like sometimes there was like extreme violence. I don't think it was majorly extreme like the stuff I worked on. I think he got more risque later. Um,
it
and
was
definitely Rich, the artist, wasn't, it
that's
was
the
more
thing. I
cute than,
think in the beginning it was it wasn't like the artist could do something that would cause anybody any level of like, oh my god, this is way too graphic for us. It was still
right.
on the level. It was still on the level of cartoon violence, right? Um, which is like blood splatter, blah blah blah. Oh look, decapitated head, blah blah blah. Right? It
Yeah.
wasn't like, and here's the thing, right? Like ideally, something along the lines of Faust, right? Tim Vigil, like
Right. Yeah.
If Tim Vigil did Razor, it would be an entirely
Yeah.
different, right? Um,
Yeah.
God, Tim Vigil, so fucking good.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Great work.
enough to make you question your salvation. That's all I had to say. And I read, oh shit! I really love this, but dear Lord, help me. Um, yeah, Faust was amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
Um, I would say, oh god, you're just gonna have to wait because I'm gonna pay you for it. So you're gonna have to wait.
It's
You're
cool.
gonna
It's
have to
cool.
fucking. You're gonna have to wait till I give you my razor that I want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to think about it because I that's honestly that's my favorite independent comics character of all of them.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool. Hiawatha says I started at Razor 6 and got all of the rest. Still looking for the first 5. Yeah,
that's
those are probably
hard.
tough to find now.
Yeah, that's really
They were
hard.
low print runs in the beginning, I'm sure. Yeah.
Extremely, extremely hard. Yeah, extremely low print runs, which is a shame. I mean, I don't know if he has the if he has the photographic or
Copies of the
whatever
original.
documentation to be able to produce the first 5 or not. I mean,
Oh. Yeah. Uh, or if he wants to, like that's his earlier work. Like
well, I
um
mean,
but yeah, I
he
mean, like if he did a hardcover of like his early run of Razor, I think it would sell. Like it, yeah, it wasn't the greatest stories, it wasn't the greatest art, but it was much like She and other books of the era. You know, it was a phenomenon. You know,
Somebody's got to have the first 5 issues out there. You know what I mean? Maybe not all of them individually, but yeah. I think you can find
have
them,
to
Chef.
do
Again.
it. Yeah, you have to say that in a what's his name? Taken, the actor, in a Taken voice. I will find them. But we've been streaming a long time. I have thoroughly enjoyed our conversation and hang time and figuring out the riddle of freelance artists and independent comics and all that. But
So wait,
yeah, you know,
are people supposed to
do
sign
some
up
stuff
for
over the weekend.
Are people supposed to
Go ahead.
sign up for something?
The
What?
retro sign up is in the video description box. I'd much prefer them hiring me to do commissions,
Yes,
or buying my prints. You know, yeah, just go to my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The most recent posts is all of that, all 3 of those things. Yeah, you know,
sign up for retro too. Sign-ups are very
retro.
very important.
There's plenty of time between now and when it will go live. But yeah, I want to have hundreds of people signed up by the time it goes live. So,
but I will say this, right?
Yes.
So I don't know if you have them handy, but everybody, please consider. So he's got a Reaper Destroyer inked, right? This is a pro ink job. Look at this. Oh my God. Put that in a frame on your freaking wall. If you're a Reaper Destroyer, that's what you want right there. Right? Look at that. Oh my God. That's Dale Keown pencils with Peter Palmiotti inks. It's goddamn gorgeous. Right, if I could ink if I could pencil like Dale Keown, right?
Right.
Oh my God. I mean, I would never go to another inker if I could pencil like Dale Keown. I would never go to
if
another
only
inker.
Dale would hire me to ink Pitt, that would be perfect.
Wouldn't it?
It's never gonna.
Let's work on that. I'm gonna hashtag that. I'm gonna hashtag that in the next day. Shep says that's fire. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, here's the thing that I would recommend, right? I know you want to get out of here, and I want to let you get out of here, but I'm not going to let you get out of here until you do what's best for yourself, right?
I know.
And I hope you don't hate me for it, which you might. Most people do. But Peter, what you need to do is like you need to take this image, right? Now, can I ask you a question? Do you mind me asking you?
Don't know what the question is.
Did Joe Sonntag use this inked version on his campaign whatsoever?
I mean, As of right now, no. I don't believe it's on the page. I mean, all I got from Joe was that he would use it as merch. He hasn't figured out what.
Okay,
It's
so
maybe a
he
print,
has.
maybe a trading card, maybe a metal card. Who knows?
Okay, okay. No, that's good enough. He said he was going to use it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, has he talked to you at any point about compensation?
Nope.
No. Okay. All right. Well, he should, because I don't know if this is the version he's using of the inked version. There is an inked version he's using, right? If
Is he? I haven't seen it in version.
Oh yeah. There is an inked version, but this, I think this version is way better than the inked version he's using.
Because I know a couple of people who have inked and shown it to him, like Jimmy Reyes. There's a Scottish guy, maybe that's his name, Scott something. I don't know.
oh,
Um,
Scotsman. Oh please, he's a colorist.
Scotsman. Yeah, maybe it's his.
He's a good guy,
You know, both of them.
but
Both
go
of
on.
those guys did pretty good jobs. I'd say I like mine the best, and that's not
I
being
love,
just because it's
actually.
me.
Yeah, I like yours better, definitely. Um, all right, chat. All of you out there that are, Kingsmen. I'm calling on the Kingsmen now, right? Take a
I'll tell you
snapshot of
what.
it.
Yeah. Well, I'll share out everything I have for sale on Twitter tomorrow.
Thank you.
So I will bomb Twitter. So what should I do? Like just ask for like have low prices for everything, or should I say fair
I
price, or how
the
should I do it?
Okay, so uh, look, I'm not asking you to rob yourself, right? That's not my
Right.
advice. My advice is, I can't believe I'm giving you advice. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all right. So I'm just giving you advice based on my experience. You have a much bigger name than I do, brother. Right? So um you will do much better than I would. Right. But if it was me, this is what I would do. I would set the prices at the the first. I would set the price at the lowest that I would accept, right?
Right.
And then I would bump it up $10, right?
How do you mean? Like in the same
So if
post?
I
Like
said if I said I wouldn't do a piece like this for anything less than $120, right? In my mind, that's what I was looking at. I would go, okay, $130, because you're saying to yourself, I wouldn't do this for anything less than $130. That doesn't mean that that's the value of the art. That's just meaning the lowest level that you accept for doing the art. You know that your art is worth at least $200 to $300, right?
I think, you know, like initially I was thinking I probably could get 300, but I haven't found the clients that have that money. Like,
It's
I
hard
think
with
it's worth 300 if you have that money in your pocket. Like,
oh,
I would
definitely.
accept 200. I would accept 200 for this. Like,
It's hard with inkers. It's very hard with inkers, right? And I will tell you why, because of fucking subterfuge, fucking half-ass, fucking wannabe, fucking wank-ass, fucking magicians like myself who try to pass ourselves off as inkers, right? That's why. But I will tell you this, like, and anybody that looks at like something I inked versus something you inked could totally freaking tell the difference, especially with this piece, right? Look at the, like, you can trace the fabric of the fucking hood, right?
right.
The best that I can do inking wise, right? I can't see it quite that clearly, right? Is I can give
Right.
an impression. I can give an impression of that based off of my inks, right? But you make it so clear, right? You make it so. Oh, look at that! Holy shit! Look at that! Oh, you really are making me look bad. No, I love it though. I love it because that just tells me how much more I need to grow.
Yeah. No,
Man,
it's good to get knocked down. Like, you know, I
can
I
I
love
ask a question?
surrounding myself with people who are like phenomenal. You know, that's how you learn. Did you?
Let
So
me
you
ask
have a
you.
question? Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So clearly, like with this piece, you chose that there was an extreme highlight coming from the left end, right?
Well, I'll say this. Like, it's all in the pencils. Like, I'm not recreating what he penciled.
All right.
Adjusting my style. I'm adjusting my style in such a way that brings it out beautifully. You know, like I've seen the other inkers, they went like they took this area and they made it black. They took this area and made it black. They took the background and screwed it up. Like I envision certain aspects of how I would approach it. That makes all the difference. Like I didn't create the light sauce. That was all Dale. Like that was in the pencils. Like I
Oh,
didn't, you know, like
I was
there's
gonna
not
say, like,
here.
all,
Yeah.
of all the different versions that I've seen, I think yours is the truest to like Dale's pencils. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did want to keep true to it. And it was how I approached the hatching, how I approached the design of it. Um, yeah, I knew going in it would suit it best. And I didn't want to just throw down too much blacks like other people I saw were doing that would, you know, like the meat of the drawing is the fucking head and the cowl, you know,
Yeah.
like that's what I wanted to highlight. And all this like crazy cross hatching was like as if he was coming out of the mist or something, like, you know.
Right.
And I visualized that even before throwing down ink. And that's how I approached it. Like, you know, I really wanted to highlight the essence of it. And I kept the back, you know, sort of the background very light because it adds to the picture, but I didn't want it to drown the picture.
I think you did it perfectly.
Thanks.
Look, I've been extremely greedy on your show, mind you. On your show, I've been extremely greedy. I think I've kept you like at least an hour longer than you ever intended to be.
Well, initially I was planning for an hour, so it's pretty close to an hour, right?
Oh, so like two and a half hours. I've kept you 2.5 hours longer than you wanted to be.
It's fine.
But
it's for a good cause.
You know me. You know me. Yeah. I stream for like 14 hours at a time. So
yeah, it's crazy.
1 hour for me is like 3 hours. So I totally appreciate you, dude. You definitely have elevated my fun in being in indie comics. And look at this, everybody. Yeah. I can't wait till this is done. This is going to be a gorgeous piece.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's too bright.
I'm so psyched. You know. Yeah. You can't. Yeah, until he turns off the light, you can't see the red lines and everything. But dude, I ain't got no worries. I ain't got no worries in the world. This is Peter Palmiotti. After all, motherfuckers. This is motherfucking Peter Palmiotti, bro.
That's right. How else would you offer to buy it before it was even done?
I gave away the pencils on a
stream.
Yeah, it was a rush stream to get funding. So right. I will contact the person that won them. Like once the inks are done.
Right.
And I will give that one person the opportunity to buy those inks. If they don't, I mean, they're already sold to me, by the way, right? So, but if they don't buy them off of me, it's going on my wall because I've already committed to buying them from Peter. So
there you go.
There you go.
But yeah, man, I mean, this is fun. What I'm gonna do tomorrow. Okay, so to be clear about what you were saying previously, like I got a stack of artwork. I'm gonna price it to go. Right now, I got more than these pieces. So what I'll probably start out with is all the other stuff that I don't give a crap about that I'd be happy to let go. So I'll price them to go. But eventually I'll get to these. I will price these at reasonable prices. And if you're on Twitter tomorrow, that means everybody in the chat and Vic, just retweet my shit and let's hope it gets to a wider audience. And you know, like I said, it won't take much. Even if 4 or 5 pieces go, that would really set me straight. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely. Do it on I hate to say this, but do it on Instagram as well. I don't know Instagram. I don't mind. Like, don't listen to me. I hate Instagram. I have no idea how to make it work. But
I
but
don't.
if
I well,
you gotta put them on Twitter, put them on Instagram.
I love Instagram, but I don't think it. I don't think it gets seen. I don't have the audience on Instagram. I don't think it gets seen as much. Frankly, I've been posting stuff on DeviantArt.
Yeah.
And that gets like 200 views, 1,000 views, like much more views than
Oh
anywhere
my
else.
God.
Although I don't know if it's a selling. It's not a DeviantArt. Unfortunately, is not a good selling place.
No, it's not.
Because
It's horrible.
There's artists there selling commissions for $5. So like it's not going to work there. I think Twitter is my best option.
So let me ask you a question, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, go ahead.
How many followers do you have on Twitter right now?
What is it? Is it 3,000?
3,000? Oh God, you got more than I do. Never mind.
Yeah. I've been on there since the beginning. Like I don't have a huge following, but it's like I have a word following.
Oh, dude, I love you, man. I do. Oh, no, because I encountered somebody else who had not so long ago entered Twitter, like they hadn't been part of Twitter, and I was like, dude, you're so much, you're a huge name. I'm nothing. Let me put your name out there, and I got 2K. It ain't great, but I got 2K. I'll push you out there to my 2K.
Yeah, it's a matter of getting some people behind me. Like if it's if it's just me posting, then people will see it but maybe not care. But like if it's a gang of people,
Exactly.
so I'll contact people individually and say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do today. Can you help me out? And see where it goes.
Peter, dude, you rock, man. You rock. I will definitely be there with your tweets when you put them out, and I will do whatever I can to help promote you and get you a little bit more exposure. Your exposure only benefits me, right? As much as I
man. Hey, same, in reverse, it's like, hey man, I'm trying to look out for you. You're trying to look out for me. We're all benefit, and even the chat will benefit. So,
oh, dude, and I hope you are putting your mind together, right, for the most insane retro piece that you could think to throw my way to do for you, to ink. You know what I'm saying?
I am looking forward to it, as well as the extreme razor piece that you will send my way.
Oh my God, dude! Honestly, if you do that,
we'll only be able to show it on the dark web. So
this is what we will do. Honestly, if you're willing to do that, this is what we will do. We will do that, and then we will sell it. We will only sell it as a poster, right? That's it. And the two of us will make money off from it, and we will only sell it as a poster, a fan art poster, mind you, so that But I mean, oh well, maybe we could put it on a T-shirt. I mean, I think if we're gonna make it that good, we should put it on a T-shirt. I'm just saying, like, oh shit. How do we How do we
We
get
could do
Everett
it.
on board with this? I don't want to. That's the thing. I don't want to like screw Everett over. He's such a good dude. You know what I'm saying?
How are we screwing him over?
Well, I mean, making money off from his character. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we wouldn't be the first ones, right? Like,
Right.
there's
No,
plenty
we
of people
wouldn't.
who've done
We
razor.
wouldn't. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
And freaking he sold the characters, so there's two people actually making Razor comics nowadays anyway.
Are there?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, there's another I know an artist, Andrew Mangum, and I saw he was doing a Razor comic, and I was like, that's
How can
strange.
this be?
That's not Everett's book. And he explained to me that, he sold Razor. This other company is doing their version, their book, but Everett still, is able to do his own Razor book. I don't know how that works, but so is what it is. So, unless you have any other questions, I guess let's just wrap it up. I'm going to get something to eat, and my cats are going wild. But thank you, everybody who joined us in the chat. This has been a blast. And tune in to Twitter tomorrow. I'll be splashing around some artwork. All right, Vic? Did you go to sleep? I don't know what happened. Well, I got to end. Peace, everybody. Have a